Well, hello again, everyone. This video blog is coming to you from Adyar this time, where our 141st International Convention has just come to a close. It's been a very, very busy time. Add to the busyness that's natural to every convention, we had the additional fact of a cyclone, what we would call in the Western world a hurricane. So Cyclone Vardah came and really did a great deal of damage, not just to Chennai, but also to our campus here at the Theosophical Society. So be able to show you some pictures of that. But in spite of all of that, the convention went on. It's really rather remarkable, the effort that was put in to make it possible, as there were institutions all around us who are yet to recover from the cyclone. But many of the people here say that it points to the fact that we have hidden support in these things. So we want to show you some things from this convention. It was a very, very good one. This year, as in past years, we have included members from our sister theosophical organizations, this time from the United Lodge of Theosophists, the ULT, and also from the Point Loma group in The Hague, the Netherlands. Very top quality presentations and good links that we have been able to form with these other groups. Also, as many of you know, for the last 3 years we have been live streaming the convention. So around the world, probably about 1,000 of you have tuned in to the convention as it was happening. All of those talks, everything that has been recorded is available online at our website as well. But during the course of this blog, would like to perhaps show you some of the things that go on behind the scenes, some of the things that escape the video camera. It's a wonderful occasion to have 1,000 people together, and naturally there are a lot of different interactions that take place. Friendships of a lifetime are often formed here. So for those of you who have not been able to attend, and even for those of you who were here this year, want to share some of these views from behind the scenes, so you can really get a feel of this place and the life that is here, particularly during the course of the convention. So I do hope you enjoy. For our Christmas party, my little executive assistant, Ellie, and I addressed some Christmas cards to the staff. And then it was time for our annual Christmas party for volunteers and staff alike, during which we take the lunchtime and just get together. Our National Secretary, David Bruce, was Master of Ceremonies and, as always, was in fine form. We had stories. My wife, Lily, the twins, Jack and Tom, and Bon also did some stories. And we also had an opportunity to hear some songs from the kids at our prairie school of DuPage.
December is a time for love. December is a time for lots of snow. December is a time for love.
And of course, for the kids and staff alike, there was great anticipation for Santa Claus's arrival. And arrive he did. And of course, for the little ones, it was a joyous occasion. They had a chance to interact with everybody, and the staff also loved seeing Santa Claus once again. Meanwhile, back at Adyar, on the December 11th and 12th, it was struck by a very powerful cyclone. Here are some images of what occurred around the city. Our Adyar campus was severely affected by this cyclone. Trees, old trees, many of them were downed, they were snapped. The work that was done preparing the buildings for the convention, a lot of that had become undone. And so it was a matter of a rapid effort to try and clear away the debris. Remarkably, the staff, volunteers from outside came together so that the event was able to go on just as scheduled, beginning with our General Council meeting, which takes place on the 30th of December. It was held in the library room where we have been meeting for the last 3 years, adorned by the beautiful photos of the Adyar campus by Dr. Chandrasekhar. We had a presentation from the Ukraine. We had a second General Council meeting that thought in terms of planning for the future propagation of theosophical teachings. Then it was on to the convention. As is customary, this year we had about 900 people register for the convention, probably about over 1,000 people in actual attendance. The temporary roof was put up. The opening of the convention, we had the traditional opening, which included the prayers of the religions. All of the General Council members were on stage, along with other representatives from different nations. The prayers of the religions took place, and then that was followed by the tradition of the President's report, which is a report that is given on all of these sections within the TS and also our federations. Generally, in the past, it has been something that has been 45 minutes to an hour of the President reading from a page. This year, tried to do it a little bit differently. So instead of doing it just reading, developed it into a movie and presented. So here's a clip from the first part of the 45+ minute presentation so you can get an idea. As 2016 is my last full year as National President of the Theosophical Society in America, this year's report will start with my last report of TSA work in this capacity. So immediately following the opening of the convention, the custom is for the President to go and open the various stalls for the Social Welfare Center and the school where various products that they have made are being sold. I go and cut the ribbon and make the first purchases, and then of course the members, the delegates at the convention follow. The afternoon on the first day is always a reception for our delegates. This year handled quite beautifully by my wife and a team of people who worked with her. This year, the group from Karnataka did all of the catering for the event, as well as the Indian kitchen in Bhojansala. We'll show you more about that. But it's a time for people to get together. The children from the school came and sang us a nice song, and to have conversations prior to the actual events which will be proceeding during the convention. It's always a wonderful array of people who are gathered. People from all around the world have a chance to get together and to share some food and some talk before the actual programs open. A couple of different things we did this year, one of which we'd been trying to put in place, but this year it finally happened. It's a lot of walking that's involved. Adyar campus is quite large, and some of our members are getting on in years. And so this year we had two vans that were there, and they shuttled people to and from programs throughout the day, something that was very, very well received. Buses were designed to seat about 12 people. If you ever had less than 20, it was surprising, but it's something that made a big difference to many of our members. New Year's Eve came, and many of us got together at Leadbeater Chambers in the kitchen area. We were doing the preparations with lights and food and sweets for an evening of song and celebration together, which took place and culminated in a bonfire. This year we couldn't go out to the scout camp because the damage from the trees were still there, so we had a different location. Well enjoyed, well received by all, drinking tea and singing songs into the wee hours of the night. Each year at the convention there are two kitchens, one primarily for Western food, one primarily for Indian food. This year the Bhojansala kitchen was taken over and developed by our Karnataka Federation. We installed a new reverse osmosis plant for water purification. They had taken a blank space and converted it into a kitchen complete with wood-burning fire cooking, as you can see here. It was a huge affair, serving around 500 to 600 people per meal. We had transformed the area and did a great deal of work in making it happen, but then it was up to the Karnataka Federation, and they really took it to a different level. So much food preparation for so many people. They would focus on it when they would be preparing the food. They would sing when we would have the food served. Prior to it being served, there were prayers that were said, and then people would eat. But a new structure was put up to house the dining area. This actually was an open space which we had developed, and then once it started, there was no stopping it. It was the place to be. In addition to bringing the kitchen back to Bhojansala, we also revisited another tradition of the cool corner, where ice creams were sold by younger people, and that became the place to be as well. Deep into the night, people would be buying ice cream and talking together. The Indian Convention takes place within the International Convention, and it's my role to inaugurate that from year to year. This year, the leadership of the Indian section changed hands from Mr. Sundaram on the right to Mr. Gohil on the left, two very capable men. The Besant Lecture this year was delivered by Ambassador Rajashekar, former ambassador to Haiti, Cuba, and other areas in the world. This year's Theosophy Science Lecture on Beyond the Brain, the Unifying Force of Consciousness was presented by Dr. Sangeeta Menon and was absolutely exceptional. It's online at the TS Adyar site, worth listening to. Our other lecturers included Linda Oliveira from Australia, Professor R.C. Tampi, and we also had the United Lodge of Theosophists, represented by Carolyn Dorrance, and the Point Loma group of The Hague by Baron Vorham. This is something we started last year, and it's really a very good exchange between our sister theosophical groups. Nancy Sechrist, Esteban Languaz from Argentina, and others were featured speakers during our panels and during our featured lectures. Every year during the convention, there are groups within the Indian section who do not fully speak English, and so there would be translations that would take place for those groups here in Karnataka. Our performances were from Kalakshetra dance troupe, and we also had a wonderful performance by two brothers who were fantastic violinists who got together, and they had an evening presentation. Perhaps the most memorable event of this convention was the Global Rhythms Children's Choir, which is directed by Mr. Srinivas Krishnan. This is an effort that Maria Artema had worked in cooperation with him and a group of other people from Chennai to bring to the Theosophical Society the very first performance of this choir of more than 500 children. Mr. Srinivas Krishnan, Srini, is a world-class music educator who has worked internationally and has brought together some of the finest musicians to help to coach this choir. Musicians who have worked with such people as A.R. Rahman and some of the finest musicians on their instruments in India. He brought the kids together. They surrounded the audience. They sang a series of songs, everything from old film music to religious songs, and they wrapped it all up with a very, very unexpected presentation that really had the crowd in tears, in laughter. It was a beautiful, beautiful moment for all of us. During the course of the convention, there are a number of things that go on. I met with a group from the Ukraine who presented a medal related to HPB and their work in the Ukraine. There was some tree planting with some of our walkers that come to the campus. That's going to be something that will be ongoing. And then we have the new members meeting, which always takes place immediately after the closing, where we have a chance to talk to and greet members who have just joined during this convention. So as with every year, all good things do come to an end. We came together, 1,000 of us, and we must part, hopefully inspired, hopefully filled with something that can actually go out into this world as a source of good, as a source of blessing to a family of humanity so much in need.